Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome to Forza. Although actually not really, it's GTA 5 and I'm still driving terribly. Nothing's changed, it's GTA 5 as always. But things are a little bit different because today we're going to be checking out a couple of mods that makes this game just a little bit more sort of simcade racer style, like Forza, like Assetto Corsa, all those sort of games, by changing handling files and also by adding in just whole new circuit races like this one right here. This is the Nurburgring GP map. That was a terrible corner. I'm going to have to apologise straight away for my driving. It's going to be terrible in this video. I'll explain why in just a second. But yeah, today we're going to be checking out a couple of mods that, when combined, make GTA 5 more like Forza. So that's going to be interesting. So before we do all of that, there's going to be some comments on the screen. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. And also, if you are not really the sort of person to go on Twitter, maybe you use Instagram. I have an Instagram as well. There'll be a link for my Instagram in the description below as well, so you can go and check out some of the pictures that I post there of cars and food and all that sort of general stuff that people post on Instagram, really. So, here we are with the absolutely terrible driving of this Tyrus here. This is the Pro-Gen Tyrus. This is one of the stock cars in GTA 5, and we are on the Nurburgring Gp Circuit. I believe this is taken from, maybe it's Forza or Assetto Corsa. I guess that sign back there said Forza, so I'm presuming that actually this is taken from the Forza files. This is a full Forza track for GTA 5, and actually there's quite a few circuit races on GTA 5, and usually the problem has been is that you can't really drive on them properly because the handling's not really right in standard GTA 5, and that is why we have the simcade handling mod that changes the way handling is in GTA 5. I still am messing up these corners. I've got to admit, anyone who does racing videos, either they are pre-recording and then talking over, or they are amazingly skilled and just do non-stop driving games all day and are just completely used to it. But for me, I can't think of, like, when I'm braking, what's the line I'm taking, whilst also talking and thinking about, well, what have I got to do for this video? What have I got to get across for this video? So, yeah, this is going to be quite terribly put across. Hopefully you guys will sort of get the feeling that this handling is different, because I'm telling you now, as I'm driving it, it is really quite different. You might notice that it's a bit more understeer heavy. As I go around these corners, it's just, I am full, oh, I'm actually so much full lock there that I'm using my horn. That is full lock to go around those corners with no throttle. And yeah, it just is, I'd say that compared to GTA 4, which was really sort of oversteer heavy, GTA 5 sort of ironed that out with a little bit of understeer. This one takes understeer to a whole new level, in my opinion. But that might just be because I'm not driving very well. I don't think it's, you know, perhaps intentional. I think that's just the way it's made it a bit more realistic. Because otherwise in GTA 5 you'd go around every corner and you'd just smash up. Usually in GTA 5 you just end up, you know, steering is made to be a little bit more arcadey in GTA 5 and not realistic, which is why we have mods like this. So one of my criticisms of this, before we actually get into all of the list of the things that this mod changes, is probably the feeling of speed. And it's not really the mod creator's fault, the person who has done the simcade handling. It might not even be the map maker's fault, because this might even be to scale and it might just be, you know, the map is fine, everything else. But the feeling of speed in GTA 5 just seems a little bit off for me. This doesn't really feel like I'm doing 170 miles an hour. I feel like I'm going a little bit slower. So when I come up to a corner, I have to really slow down to take a corner properly. And that might just be, you know, real life and I'm just an idiot and I don't really use racing games that much. But I also feel like it's because I'm not really getting the true feeling of speed. So when I slow down to what I feel is a reasonable speed, I end up still being way too fast. I understeer and then I go off the track, which is what we've probably been seeing for most of this video anyway. So here we go. I'm going to race down, and this is quite a hard corner. So 40 miles an hour, no throttle, just a bit of throttle to help me round. That wasn't too bad, actually. Definitely not very good with these racing lines. Ooh, any sort of throttle just completely just cuts to understeer with this car. But of course, every car is different. So maybe it's just the fact that I'm driving this one and it's, you know, perhaps I prefer driving something else. So actually, let's do that. Let's jump into another car. And how about something a little bit slower, but way cooler? Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay, this is probably going to be really slow, but I think we might have a better chance with cornering because we're not going super, super fast with this one. Let's go for this corner. Little bit of brake. I'm just going to let off and just... Yeah, that's not too bad. There's definitely a lot of tyre squealing, but then in a car like this at that speed, you probably would. That feels a little nicer. We're definitely going quite slow. Again, as I said, it didn't feel like we were going that fast in the Tyrus, so going into a slower car now, it just feels like I'm walking. Probably should not have used brakes that hard around there. So yeah, this does feel incredibly slow, but maybe you just have to work up to it. You know, like in a real racing game, you start off with the slow cars, you work up to the faster cars. I guess it's the same with this. So I've got a list of features here from the Simcade handling mod. Let's just have a look through them and see what sort of stuff it adds and changes. It claims to have drag and gear limited realistic top speed for all vehicles with realistic gear ratios. So it's completely changed how the gear ratios are, and it actually takes into consideration air and drag and everything else when you get your top speed. Because obviously you can get things to be pretty crazy in GTA 5 with a few mods, but in standard GTA 5, I don't know, maybe this will make the cars faster? I presume so, because we were going way faster in that Tyrus than we would do in real life, so, or rather, in normal GTA 5. When I mean real life, I mean normal GTA 5. So yeah, I guess some top speeds are quicker. This one might be a little slower. There is also an apparent realistic ABS model for cars and bikes with older vehicles having no ABS. And as this is an old vehicle, I want to test this out. So, I don't know, that was full braking, and mind you, it didn't actually lock up. It was quite slow braking. You would have thought without ABS it would actually lock up and not allow you to steer, whereas this just sort of slows down quickly. So I'm not entirely convinced with this ABS. Maybe we'll try with the handbrake, but I guess that's the rear brakes. It doesn't really change anything. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced about this ABS thing. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just not looking for the right things, but not entirely sure about that one. There's also performance changes for acceleration with more realistic and accurate acceleration times for all vehicles except aircraft and seacraft. It's probably worth pointing out that cars, bikes, planes, all that lot have been changed with this mod in some way or another. Now, the main bulk of this is probably the semi-realistic grip and braking characteristics that this mod adds, which basically just makes things a bit more like real life, going around corners. Oh, see, you wouldn't be able to take a corner like that. I was full lock on the right on the Xbox controller right there, going around that corner. You wouldn't be able to corner like that in GTA 5. It would just want to oversteer, even with GTA 5's predominantly understeering characteristics. So you can definitely feel it on the corners with this mod. And it also has implemented downforce on certain vehicles, with vehicles claiming to be more fluid and enjoyable while still being challenging to drive quick. I could definitely agree with the challenging to drive quick. That might just be my complete inability to grasp the concept of speed in this game, though. It might just be user error and actually no fault of this mod. So this is going to be one of those that I recommend you guys check out. There will be a link in the description below for this. There is also overhauled motorbike handling, which I'm very curious about. So let's switch over to a motorbike. And let's just go straight into the big league with the Akuma. So apparently, we have higher degrees of lean. I guess that's higher degrees of lean, presumably. And we're now able to drift and do burnouts. Ah, see, oh, okay, because normally it would bog down. Yeah. Okay, that's definitely a thing that we can do. I'm very curious about drifting, actually. Let's go up to this next corner. Lean down. So I guess we might be able to turn in harder with bikes now compared to normal GTA 5. Let's just have a look. Let's just get down here and... Ooh, no, actually that was completely terrible. Absolutely awful riding on my part. I really actually... Ooh, yeah, there's definitely a lot of understeer feeling with this. They don't turn in as hard as I would expect them to. But maybe just got to put a little bit of brake in there. Nope, definitely not on a bike. Yeah, I'm really not clued up on how to ride a bike properly, so this does feel a little odd for me. Maybe you guys would appreciate this. There's definitely a lot more tyre squeal now. But I guess if you were doing this in real life, it probably would do the same thing. This is obviously just because there's a disconnect because we're playing a game and it's not real life. Corners definitely feel different though. There's definitely a change in this handling characteristic compared to usual. Although I'm not sure I like it. That's probably just me though. You guys might actually really like this one. There's also apparently no auto braking wing freewheeling now. which I'm starting to notice. I've got my... Let's actually just go for a straight here instead of going on a corner. I'm going to take my finger off the throttle. I can't remember how much it used to do that in normal GTA 5 handling. Maybe that feels a little bit less of a slowdown than usual? I'm not sure. But I'm just going to take the mod maker's word for it that is actually different. But it's quite hard because I can't remember exactly. Not the sort of thing I really paid attention to, I've got to be honest. Detail changes that seem to surpass my knowledge of how GTA 5 normally runs. There is also new characteristics for suspension, with apparently realistic suspension for all vehicles, with no wheel clipping through the fenders when suspension is under load. I've tested this out. I can't really see any difference, but I guess maybe it's just something I didn't really notice before. But apparently it's just to stop the wheel clipping in standard suspension height form, which is good. That's nice. That's a nice touch. That's something that perhaps Rockstar should have had in the game originally. But yeah, I'm pretty sick of this bike, so let's jump back onto a car. Or into a car, rather. Here we go. Let's go for a generic sort of racy sedan car, like this Ford or Aston Martin. Be a nice change of speed. This is a nice sort of like midway speed vehicle, I assume. So there is also an increase in rollover risk for some vehicles. So I'm going to try that out in just a second with a couple of SUVs just to see if we can't get them to tip over. Not sure which ones are going to be more prone to it. We'll have a little try with a couple of them in a second. And also there is 3 different types of deformation. I've currently got the 3 times more than usual deformation on. But you can also have it up to 500% if you want to get really crazy and perhaps have it just a little bit more realistic. But I didn't want it to be absolutely crazy. But let's just go around this track. Absolutely terrible driving. I'm just going to try and slam this into a wall and see what happens. Okay, here we go. And... oh, okay, well, that's definitely a lot more than usual. Although realistic... perhaps not, but definitely deforms a lot more than usual. And of course, this is the lowest one. It can actually go up to like 500%. So, yeah, if you like big crash physics, this one's also a good one to go for. Well, I guess actually, as we're finished with the cars, let's just try these SUVs and see if we can't topple one of them over. Okay, I've just grabbed the baller, and I'm trying to do... oh, I can't remember the name of the test, but it's like the thing that they normally do for these, slowing down and turning. This one's not too bad. I'd say that one's passed. Maybe something like the Cavalcade would be more prone to it, seems it's a little bit higher up. Oh, no, still didn't topple over with that one, but we were going up a hill, so we might have to turn around. Okay, here we go, and brake, flip. Oh, no, didn't manage it. I think maybe these sports SUVs are probably just going to be way too good for this, and we might have to try one of the stock style ones. Actually, this is a lot faster than the other one, so let's give this one a try. Ooh, no. I don't think we're actually going to replicate this. Okay, let's try with the Mesa. This is going to be the last one, because I have a feeling that we're just not going to manage to get one of these to flip over. Maybe it just takes a hell of a lot more speed and probably a curb or something like that. But on this track, oh, no. They all seem pretty good. But apparently... there is an increased risk of rolling over. But on this occasion, we're going to have to take the mod maker's word for it. So on top of everything that we have mentioned, there is also much faster fighter jets inside of this mod, and also faster traffic AI, which we'll have to check out in just a second. I'm curious to see what it's like on the freeway with the faster AI. And that's pretty much it. This mod supports all cars up to the latest official DLC. No mods, so I'm not running any sort of Vanilla Works Extended, 4-pack, any of those sort of mod things. They're just not going to work because there's no handling for them, so there's no point in even testing them out. So I guess now that I've covered as much as possible about the handling, let's have a quick look around the track. So I'm actually just going to jump out and have a look at this. And here we are. This is actually a really big map. Most of it seems to be just, I don't know, there is actually a castle over there in the distance, just to give you a little bit more atmosphere, seeing that in the distance, although we do have all of these hills here from San Andreas, so I don't know. Would they be there in real life? I'm not so sure. But we have this that just seems to be some sort of aerial photograph planted on. Got some trees around here. You can see where the real road is supposed to be here, but it actually only starts around here. It's just got this little bit of road going off. Then we come over and we've got the stands right here. These seem to be, what's this, hotel? This is actually, oh, there's a hotel here right next to the track. I'd like to stay there for a day. That is cool. And then we go round. There's the pit over here with all the TUV Rhineland Tower, all this sort of thing. Going down here, we've got some more stands. And actually, there's a lot of stands. There's also a roller coaster. I was unaware of there being a roller coaster at the Nurburgring. But apparently, according to this, there is. Maybe it was just something that they added for Forza, but maybe one of you guys can let me know. And then go around there. As you can see, got some ring stuff going on. This is supposed to be based on the real things. It's taken from Forza. Driving Academy buildings, all that sort of stuff. And then again, we've got more of these stands going all the way around here. All these corners. This corner around here. And all the way around here. All of these are stands. And then we've got some stuff in the middle. Some sheds and some cranes and lighting rigs and tents. All that sort of stuff for media to go in, I presume. Also got this little ground over here with some tents and some portaloos. And some more stands and stuff like that. Again, this is all taken from Forza, so all the sort of usual stuff you'd expect from a track is here. And there we are. That is the Nurburgring GP map. And also, I just want to say, you might notice in the mini-map there that this does include a little mini-map for you to drive around. So you can actually use this like Forza with the mini-map so you know where you're going, which is pretty cool. There's also this little road here. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's just a small bit of road that goes under the track that presumably would be a road in real life for something, but in this case, it's just a really weird road that it doesn't really start or end. It's just there. Not entirely sure why it's on the map, and it's also not really drivable considering these massive bumps. But yeah, there's a little bit of a road there anyway as well. So that's pretty much it for the map. I just want to quickly check out what it's like with the faster fighter jets and also the traffic AI speed. So let's just go back over to San Andreas and check those out. Okay, here we are on the highway, or the freeway. Not entirely sure what this constitutes as, but the traffic, is it faster? Actually, I'd say that Panto's definitely going a little bit quicker than they normally would. Yeah, some of these are going faster, some of these are slower. I guess there's a little bit of a traffic hold-up. For some reason, that truck has stopped completely. Let's just move further on. Yeah, it does seem that some lanes are faster than others. Some cars are going faster than others, which I guess is pretty much like GTA. But it's quite hard to see if they're going any faster. That Panto definitely looked pretty quick though, so I'm going to assume that, yeah, some of these cars will at some points go quicker than they usually would. And also for top speeds, this is a stock Bullet, and it's already going 150 miles an hour, so this definitely has a lot more realistic top speed. Oh my god, yep, and into the back of him because I couldn't steer at all because there was just understeer for days. Because that's just the way this handling is for this mod. Oh yeah, and obviously because the, oh dear, that is smashed up. And at the back as well now. Right, let's just quickly try the fighter jets then. And for funsies, I figured we'd take off on the highway, because why not? Let's see if this is any faster. You could also get it faster with the mods that I've checked out previously. If you wanted to get it super, super fast, I guess you would just use like the supersonic mod or something. But look at this. We have reached over 300 miles an hour and still climbing 357 miles an hour. This is way faster. And I guess the supersonic mod was probably a bit of a piss take, even though the speed is a bit more like realistic numbers-wise. When you're talking about the scale of GTA 5, this is a good speed, I think, for a fighter jet. I've always felt that the fighter jets were just a little bit too slow. I think this speed is perfect for this. There we go, let's just do some nice low flying. Ooh, that was good. Yeah, this is an all-round, pretty cool handling mod. I'm not sure if I would really want to use this whilst driving around the city. Mostly because of the understeer and yeah, maybe that's just me. But maybe you guys would like it. It works really well with all the circuit maps that we've got. There's also some other circuit maps that I didn't check out in this video. Maybe I'll do other videos if that's the sort of thing you guys are interested in. There's some maps from Gran Turismo and some other games like that. I think there's like Fujimi Kaido from Forza and all that sort of stuff. So if that's of any interest to you guys, let me know in the comment section below and maybe I'll check those out in another video. But that is going to be it for this video today. Oh, okay. Well, I got the under the bridge thing. Good thing I'm invincible. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a weird one because it's very hard to convey handling changes when you're in control, when everyone else is just watching from the sidelines. So it's definitely one that I recommend that you guys go and check out I'll put a link in the description to the map and the Simcade handling mod, and I would really recommend you just trying it out for yourself and let me know what you think. Maybe you've tried it out and you want to let me know what you think, just leave a comment in the comment section below, or you can even tweet me and let me know your thoughts. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.